Needless Things. Hey, Phantomaniacs, Phantom Troublemaker here one more time for NeedlessThingsSite.com for another video toy review. Today, I'm going to be talking about DC Comics Unlimited New 52 Wonder Woman. I am on record as not being a fan of the New 52. I've dropped most of the comics that I started buying when they launched it a year and a half-ish ago. But Wonder Woman is one of the comics that I'm still getting, and Wonder Woman is one of the character redesigns that I actually really liked from the start. So I was pretty stoked to find this figure. She was a tough find. I saw Flash and Superman a whole bunch of times. I've seen entire case lots of Injustice Batman because Toys R Us is doing a deal where you buy Injustice Gods Among Us and you get the Batman figure for free. I absolutely hate the design of pretty much every character in that video game, although I hear good things about the game. So I had no interest in Injustice Batman. But I found New 52 Wonder Woman at Target the other day. Stoked to have her. She might even replace my regular Wonder Woman. Let's check her out and find out. This is the new DC Comics Universe Unlimited Classics Batman Legends, whatever you want to call it, packaging. It's got the it's too much. It's absurd that there's this much packaging on this figure, but they're trying to make you better about spending $15 to $20 on the figure. I was lucky enough to get, I think 16 is what Target's charging for these. And these, like the Matty Collector stuff, have the little holes on the side so you can enjoy that delicious new toy smell before you even open the figure up. I dig this packaging, but it really is just too much. It's totally unnecessary. But it does display the figure well, and I've got to give Mattel credit for posing these in neutral poses in the packaging now. So we're not having the problems that we used to have with warped limbs and things of that nature. On the back, you've got a bio about Wonder Woman, and then on the bottom, you've got little details about her real name, and, you know, honestly, who cares? Let's just open it up and look at her. These things are stupid tricky to open. Lots of tearing involved. You certainly can't just pop them open like I did the Hoff Luke the other day. And they are definitely pushing MattyCollector.com now as far as their retail releases go. As you can see, as soon as you open it up, first thing you see is look for more characters at MattyCollector.com. Oh, wow. And then it's across the top, too. Not that you can see it quite as clearly, but they are pushing the website now. So that's something they maybe should have been doing 4 years ago, but at least they're getting around to it. Wonder Woman is in there. A lone rubber band is securing her, but we'll take care of that right now with my trusty rubber band clippers. I'm already seeing that her armband is painted on, which I'm not caring for very much. And get these rubber bands out of the way. By the time I finish doing these video toy reviews this summer, I'm going to have 1,000 cut-up rubber bands to my left. Alright, so first glance, I really dig her. She seems very faithful to that New 52 redesign, so that's cool. I'm down with that. Sculpt-wise, she looks pretty solid. It's a variation. Obviously, it's got some new parts, but it's a variation on the regular female buck. It's definitely kind of a slender look. I would honestly prefer a little bit, I'm not going to say beefier Wonder Woman, but a little more muscular, a little more Amazonian. Then again, once you get into the physique of Amazonians, you kind of have to start cutting off breasts and things like that. So maybe we're better off that Mattel's not addressing that sort of thing. But we do have a completely new abdomen on this lady. Lots of detailing there, lots of seams and texture, which is a New 52 trademark, possibly unnecessary. And then we have something really, really weird right here on her back. That is a place to store her sword, but for some reason it's kind of just hanging out of her butt. I find that incredibly unappealing. I appreciate that she's got somewhere to store her weapon, but I don't know why it couldn't have gone on the side along with this lasso, which, by the way, is not removable. It's just there. So the argument cannot be made that, well, if we put that thing on her side, it would have been an eyesore, because we have this here forever, not going anywhere. I'm also noticing there's some sort of greasy residue on this figure as I handle her. So that's not very nice either. Overall, though, we have the lines of the New 52 Wonder Woman. Her boots do have a sculpt to them. And articulation-wise, you've got the swivel pivot shoulders that seem to work very nicely. You've got the rotating bicep. You've got the pivot elbow, the wrist swivel. The head is on a ball joint, but thanks to her tightly sculpted hair, you don't have a whole lot of movement there. Maybe a little bit of up-down, a tiny bit of side-to-side, and that's all you're going to get out of Diana. Despite what you may think, that hideous-looking cut just under her bosoms is not a joint of any kind. That is just a really ugly thing that is on the figure for reasons I can't understand, because this is a completely new sculpt on this abdomen. From neck to booty, this is all new stuff. So I can't for the life of me figure out why that hideous cut is right there. But it's really bad and ugly, and I don't like it. Going down to the hips, you've got the... Oh, there's where all your residue's coming from. I don't know if you can see that gleam coming out of her crotch area, but that's where that stuff is. I hear that that's a product they put in to prevent the joints from sticking, and I've got to say, if that's what it is, more power to you, Mattel, because we've all had enough of stuck joints from you people. We have swivels a little further down the thigh than I think we're used to. I think they're trying to make the female leg shape look a little more natural and appealing. We've got a pivot on the knee, and we've got ankle pivots that actually work fairly well. So that's great. They're not rockers, but at least they do move some. So all of the joints move like they're supposed to move, and I appreciate that. The sculpt is, aside from that hideous joint and that weird butt strap, looks really good. I like her choker. That looks cool. Her hair looks really good, very dynamic, and not necessarily... they modeled this definitely after Jim Lee's art as opposed to Cliff Chiang's art, which is fine because, honestly, Jim Lee's not a bad guy as far as design for action figures goes. He knows how to make interesting-looking, dynamic things. Personally, I don't feel like it translates well to visual storytelling, but it works in this medium. So, that's all well and good. I noticed her little armband there is just straight up painted on. I don't like that at all, but at least her wristbands, which I think have some sort of name based in mythology, I couldn't tell you, but they're also sculpted on and look good. So that's solid. Sculpt and articulation wise, aside from this horrible crack running across her abdomen, she looks solid. They did a good job with her. She's also got her tiara, which I failed to mention. It would have been nice if she'd come with a little tiara accessory that she could throw, but we haven't seen her do that in the New 52, so maybe that's not a thing anymore. Paint job, her face and tiara, and choker for that matter, look absolutely fantastic. Everything is placed very well. The coloring is very tight. It's very vibrant and distinctive. I think this is one of the better DC Universe figures from Mattel that I've seen as far as the paint job on the face go. Those blue eyes, just really, really nice. The hair is also really good. There's some blue highlights in there. It's a definite black with the blue highlights really bring it out. It looks good. The front of the figure, you've got the silver, red, and blue, which some people complained that they changed it from gold to silver and were having some problems with it not being an American anymore. But guess what? Silver is a lot closer to white than gold is, so I don't know where you're coming off with that. The golden lasso is... I don't know, man. She has to have the golden lasso, but if this is the way she has it, I don't know how I feel about that. The gold paint job is obviously fine, but the thing's just stuck to her hip. She can't use it. She can't do anything with it, and it doesn't come off. So I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm glad she has. I'm glad it's present, but I don't know if it's in the best way possible. Over here, we have a horrible, horrible paint error where that star is smudged off. You can see the red underneath, and then also you can see some red up by where the lasso is. So that's pretty bad paint smudgery there. I'm not very happy with that. If I thought I could find another Wonder Woman figure, I would probably take her back. And then there's also some smudges on her upper legs that look kind of bad. I'm not really thrilled about them. If I can figure out how this camera ever works, you guys will be so grateful. And then on the boots actually look good. The white trim is solid. They did a good job with that. There's no errors there. I'm happy with the boots. They did a good job. Everything stays on the boots. It doesn't leak over onto the skin or anything like that. So that's cool. Accessory-wise, all we've got is this little rubber sword. Bloop, 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 bloop. Yeah, guess what? It's all bent up from the package. It's got some awesome detailing on it, though. Whatever you would call the detailing on a sword, it has it. It looks cool. It's very distinctive. And it's got some red paint on the hilt there. It looks good. I like it. It fits into her hand, which is definitely something you want. I forgot to mention her little red fingernails. Painted nails make all the difference on lady figures, I'm telling you. And then also we, of course, have to test it out and stick it in her butt strap. And that, I guess, kind of works, maybe? I don't know. I'll accept that. Whatever. It would have been nice if she'd come with a lasso. I was kind of kidding about the tiara, but the lasso would have been nice. But at this point in the game, we have to be glad to be getting even one accessory from a Mattel product. So, Wonder Woman and her sword, I'm going to give them a 3 out of 5. Those paint errors, the lasso decision, the butt strap, and that horrible, horrible cut across her abdomen really take away from what could have been a great, great figure and really what is a great new design. If you want to know more about New 52 Wonder Woman, check out needlessthingssite.com. I'll have a post up there with more detailed pictures that you can check out. And I'll be back next time with another non-Mattel figure. Until then, this is Phantom Troublemaker. Later.
Needless things.